Welcome to 3 Point Stance. I'm Meghan Triplett. I got Jon Roser via Skype. We are presented by Mountain Dew. We are back for another week of hot topics that we need to go through. And you know what? The weekend just wrapped up. Let's start with some college football news. A lot happened in the sport this weekend. Roser, let's first just talk about the biggest storylines of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing you got to look at, obviously, the number one team in the country, Alabama, lost their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. I always screw up his last name, so I just call him Tua.
I just say
yeah, he goes down with the ankle injury against Tennessee, and Tennessee actually put up a pretty good fight for a while. And Tennessee got screwed by the refs on a couple things in that game, but Tua goes down, and it does. You can say, I mean, who is the best team in the country right now? Because if Alabama doesn't have Tua and they've got Arkansas, then a bye, then LSU, who's the best team in the country? Is it Ohio State? Is it LSU? Is it Clemson? That remains to be seen. But all we know is they've got LSU in 3 weeks. November 9th, they have LSU. Alabama does. If he is not 100% for that, I mean, it could be a bloodbath in Tuscaloosa that Saturday.
Yeah, if I'm Alabama, if I'm an Alabama fan, I'm a little nervous without Tua. A lot of questions are still left. And they said that he's going to be okay, maybe just a couple of weeks off. But I don't know about that. It's a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
It makes you work just a little bit. But let's talk about something else that also happened this weekend. Lane Kiffin, you talked about referee calls. Lane Kiffin went off again on Twitter. He uses Twitter to express himself. He went off on the referees, posted a picture of the referees kind of sleeping, got fined $5,000. Wasn't enough money to me. I think he should have been fined a little bit more. I'm kind of tired of the whole Lane Kiffin emotional train thing going on. And I think we kind of been a little light on him.
Yeah, I will say Lane Kiffin, mostly, usually coaches and athletes, a lot of them can, for the most part, not all, but for the most part, kind of boring on social media. Like it could just be generic tweets or sponsored tweets or stuff like that. Lane Kiffin is the opposite of that. He is he's very entertaining on Twitter, and he pops off a lot. He got himself in trouble. I mean, I thought with as much money as college coaches make these days, I was like, $5,000. That's all.
That's it.
I was like, 5,000. Like you usually get hit with like professional sports, you get hit with like 25,000 for criticizing officials. So, and I would assume Conference USA could use a lot of money. So I thought they'd fine him more than $5,000.
Well, you know what? He should have been fined a little bit more. And another coach who's always entertaining is Jim Harbaugh. He's been in the news. Michigan went down at Penn State. They lost, and now Michigan, they're 1-10 against ranked top 10 AP teams since Harbaugh came into Michigan. And some people are worrying, is this the end of the Harbaugh reign with the Wolverines?
Yeah, look, Michigan's not going to fire him. I love Harbaugh. I love the guy, by the way. But because he was great, he did great with the 49ers. That's why I love him.
Obviously.
I've always thought he's better suited for the NFL than college. Now, that being said, he's gotten really good recruiting classes at Michigan. The only thing he hasn't been able to get is a quarterback. And Shea Patterson was a 5-star recruit, obviously was at Ole Miss, and he left Ole Miss when they had the probation thing, and he was allowed to transfer without having to sit out. So Patterson went to Michigan, and he just has not been good. And he is underwhelmed big time, and that's been his biggest problem is he just doesn't have a quarterback, and he hasn't been able to get one there at Michigan. So I do wonder if he had, what if he had Justin Fields, or if he had, Trevor Lawrence, or if he had Tua, if he had one of those quarterbacks, I do wonder if it would be different. But they're not going to fire him. He's going to have to leave.
I don't know. When you're 1-10 against top 10 team ranked in the AP poll, I think that said a little something. And we know Michigan boosters and the alumni, they don't like that number. I would not be surprised if this might be the end of this whole Jim Harbaugh era. And I don't know. I mean, I know he did a great job with your 49ers, obviously, but I think the college game is suited for him, his personality. He can get these recruits. but I don't know if we'll see him in Michigan. I think Michigan, they're a little antsy. They're saying, like, you know what? Time might be just up for you right now.
I will say all these games that he has lost to the obviously the elite teams that he has lost. I will say their combined home records. Their combined home records for the whole seat for like everything is I think now 40-0. So it's at least like he's lost a good team. It's like he's losing. He's at least losing to teams that like nobody else is beating him either. So nobody else is beating those teams either. But Michigan expects more. Michigan expects more. I just don't. I think because he did go to Michigan, I don't think they'd fire. They're not. They won't fire him after this year.
If he doesn't make a bowl, a bowl game, this could be big.
Look, if you get run next week by Notre Dame, and if Ohio State beats them the way they did last year, could that could because they're not going to want to get beat 63-10 by Ohio State again. That will not go over well.
All right, anyway, Roser, before I let you go, we have to talk about the NBA season. It's this week. It's coming up. Give me your biggest hot take about what you think we can expect from this upcoming season.
Oh, I'm so ready for the NBA season to start back. I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
The Lakers missed the playoffs. I got to be a hater here. I got to be a hater.
Take us to your Mountain Dew on that one.
Lakers, Mountain Dew. All jacked up here. The Lakers missed the playoffs. Look, the only way they missed the playoffs is if Anthony Davis and LeBron James, one of those goes down with like a serious injury. So I'm not praying that one of those guys get injured. I don't want that to happen. I don't want anybody to get injured. But you saw LeBron had his first big injury issue last year since the first couple of years of Miami when he had the back problem. And Anthony Davis has always misses games here and there. Like he always has these little nagging injuries and he misses games. I'm going to go with the Lakers missed the playoffs. It's tough to stay healthy for a full 82-game season. The other one is Luka Doncic will finish top 3 in the MVP voting this year. If everything I've seen from them on preseason highlights, I mean, look, it's not like I'm watching League Pass preseason games all the time. So I'm seeing highlights, whether it's the NBA app, whatever. Luka has slimmed down, like looks a lot. Look, he legit looks like he's lost 15 to 20 pounds. And he just seems to me he's going to get better and better. I think he's going to have an amazing season.
All right. So since you gave 2 hot takes, I'll give 2 then. I thought of this one. I don't think LeBron is going to be MVP this year, and that might not be too hot, but I think people are on this Lakers, bandwagon train, and I don't think he's going to be the MVP of the year. I think it's going to be someone else. It might be a shocking player that we probably aren't even expecting. I'm going to go that it's not even the typical players that we're just used to. I don't think it's going to be Steph. I don't think it's going to be James Harden. I think it's going to be somebody else. And I don't think Zion Williamson is going to be our rookie of the year as well. And maybe I'm a little biased. I think Ja might have a really, really big running for that rookie of the year.
Well, look, Zion's out for the first couple of weeks now. And if he has injury issues throughout the first year, yeah, I mean, Ja absolutely could win that award. You're already seeing things out of R.J. Barrett in New York where fans are even kind of worrying about him. Like, is this guy going to really be that good? No, Ja is set up perfect. Like look, Zion's going to be awesome. But if he deals with nagging injuries all season long and misses a lot of games, yeah, Ja absolutely can get that award. I mean, Ja could get it even if Zion does play. It's not like, it wouldn't be crazy if Ja Morant averaged 17 points and like 10 assists a game. Like, that would not be crazy, and that could very well get you the Rookie of the Year award.
Well, okay, we'll see because the season's coming up this week. Basketball, this is our favorite season. It's our favorite time of the year. I'm excited. We're pumped. We're excited for it. We got our Mountain Dew. You know what, Roser? Thanks so much again for Skyping with me to do our 3-point stands. We'll be back next week.